So, to start, my sister Vicky is extremely judgmental. When she and my brother-in-law Tom found out that their son Joe was gay, this was a few years ago, they vowed to kick him out the moment he turned 18. Well, a few weeks ago, his 18th birthday came around, and true to their word, Tom woke Joe up at midnight and threw him out of the house with nothing but the backpack Joe had packed. Joe then had to walk for an hour in the rain to get to my house across town. At around 1:15 a.m., I was woken up by my doorbell ringing. When I answered, he gave me the rundown and asked if he could stay with me while he got on his feet. I obviously said yes. About 2 days later, Vicky texted the family group chat, trying to see if anyone knew where Joe had gone. Joe had blocked both of their numbers. Apparently, them kicking Joe out like that was a heat-of-the-moment decision that they deeply regret. I asked Joe if he wanted her to know where he was, and he said that he didn't want her to have anything to do with him. I just sent a generic, "I haven't seen him," to the group chat. Well, somehow, don't ask me how, I don't know, Vicky and Tom found out that Joe was staying with me and put me on blast to the whole family for lying to Vicky when she was desperate to get her son back. Everyone but Joe is against me on this, which has me wondering, am I the idiot? Heat of the moment, my flat butt. They timed kicking him out to the second after he turned 18, thereby immunizing them from legal liability. After warning and threatening Joe in advance, the whole travesty was premeditated. The only opinion here that matters is Joe, so unequivocally, not the idiot. Everything else is homophobia enabling noise. Big thumbs up, OP. Also, 2 days later, it took them 2 days to realize a heat-of-the-moment decision? BS. Someone asked about their son or called them out, and they're trying to save face. I can't believe the entire family is against OP here. They all sound like unredeemable people, and thank goodness this poor kid has one decent family member. It's ridiculous that crap like this still happens just because someone is gay. Right? I don't know why they'd bother lying after all that time. Honestly, I'm wondering if, with many idiots believing being gay is a choice, they expected him to just agree to stop being gay when he saw that they were really kicking him out. Now that he didn't, is gone, and they're blocked, they're shocked and want to act like it was nothing, discipline, or some BS. Definitely the nephew needs somewhere safe, and his parents clearly aren't that. He's 18, and he gets to decide what they have access to with him now. I'm sure they had this vision in mind. They'd kick him out, he'd spend a few nights roughing it on the streets, he'd come crawling back, begging their forgiveness for his choice to be gay. When they hadn't gotten the satisfaction of him demeaning himself after 48 hours, they realized it wasn't going to their plan. Scare him straight becomes, oh no, we've lost our son. Since the blast came on a group chat, I strongly urge you to set the record straight. Tell everyone they have told nephew he would be kicked out of their home as soon as he turned 18, even though he's still in school. True to their word, they entered his bedroom at midnight on his birthday to execute their plan. In the middle of the night, he was made to leave with only the clothes on his back and a small backpack. They executed a cruel and calculated decision that was years in the planning. Good luck, OP. You're a wonderful aunt and human being. My sister-in-law, her husband, and their kid currently live with me, my husband, and our 3 kids. Their house burnt down, and it's in the process of being rebuilt. They've been here for 2 months. My sister-in-law works overnight, 3 nights a week, and her husband doesn't work. I work from home, and my husband installs docks 5 to 6 days a week. Now, even on the days that sister-in-law doesn't work, she insists that my kids remain quiet and don't make noise at all, because she'll insist on sleeping until 4 to 5 p.m. after going to bed at 11 p.m. the night prior. She claims her body can't handle the sleeping schedule, but she refused to switch to day shifts. I'm honestly sick and tired of trying to keep my kids quiet all day and most of the afternoon, literally so she can sleep, while I'm trying to work on top of that. My son has ADHD, and he's off the walls most of the time, So I constantly have to stop what I'm doing, work, to go and correct my kid for having fun in his own house. I told my husband this wasn't working and that we needed to sit down with sister-in-law, tell her this isn't working, and come up with an alternative. So we sat her down yesterday and told her she had 3 options: buy noise-canceling headphones, put a camper on our property and sleep out there, or change your work schedule, because I will not be telling my kids to be quiet from sunup to sundown anymore. She said she can't sleep with headphones, doesn't want to change her schedule due to the pay differential, and can't afford a camper. I basically told her those were her options, take it or leave it. Today I didn't try to keep my kids quiet. I shouldn't have to in their home. Sister-in-law complained because she couldn't sleep, and I told her tough crap. I gave her options, and she refused all of them. Am I the idiot? Edit. Her husband hasn't worked as long as I've known him, 8 years. No reason behind it. She helps with around $200 worth of food a month because we all eat meals together. Other than that, nothing else. So if only $200 a month is supposed to feed her family, how much were they spending before the house burned down? I really want to know. Not the idiot. Beggars can't be choosers. You've taken her in after the fire, which is the decent thing to do, but it's your children's home first, and she needs to remember that. Keeping your kids quiet 24/7 for the indefinite future is a non-starter. She insists on 11 p.m. to 4 p.m. sleep? So 17 hours? I read this wrong, didn't I? Tell me I did. She absolutely doesn't need that much sleep. I understand wanting to sleep in if you're up late, but she's sleeping 16 hours a day. She needs to talk to a doctor to find out why. If nothing is medically wrong, then tough crap. I have an option. Sister-in-law's husband gets a job so they can rent a place and live how they choose. He needs to be contributing something to this arrangement. OP shouldn't have to have the massive inconvenience of housing another family, working a full-time job, and being a caregiver to her children. At the same time, she does it when there's a freeloading adult in her house who needs to earn his keep. I love this option, but I don't understand why sister-in-law is living there in the first place. Most insurance policies provide money for alternate accommodations while the house is being repaired after a fire. Check the policy for loss of use. I was looking for this comment. Dollars to donuts. She's pocketing the cash and mooching off OP. Her husband doesn't work? What does he do all day? These people sound like scammers taking advantage of OP. Free daycare for their kid, free rent, and the insurance gives them a nice monthly stipend. My husband, 36, and I, 33 female, have been married for 8 years and have 3 kids, a kindergartner, a toddler, and an infant. I'm still recovering from my planned C-section, which is taking much longer than I had hoped. I'm not on bed rest, but pretty darn close. Unless it's to go to the bathroom, change or feed my baby, I'm pretty much always sitting or lying down. I don't like it, but it's what my body needs to heal. Both my husband and I are still on maternity/paternity leave. Obviously, that means that pretty much every other aspect of our lives falls on my husband right now. He's been doing a great job of caring for the older kids and ensuring everything in our lives is running as smoothly as it can, given our circumstances. He's also great about caring for the baby and giving me breaks as much as possible. But I can tell it's starting to wear on him mentally and physically. Neither of us is sleeping well, and I swear it looks like he's lost more weight than I have since the baby came. Due to me being pretty much immobile, I can't really go out of the house to do anything without assistance, so I wasn't able to plan anything really fun for Father's Day. I did help the older kids make him cards and ordered him some really nice steaks to cook, though. I felt bad because for Mother's Day, he bought me a 6-hour pregnancy spa treatment and took the older kids out of the house all day so I could have peace. But on the morning of Father's Day, I was feeling worse than usual as I had to strain myself the day before to pick something off the floor, and I aggravated my incision. So I was laid up all day. Again, this meant my husband had to do literally everything that day. I could tell he was irritated and upset when he got the older kids to bed. I told him to try and relax for a bit, but then the baby started fussing, and he jumped off the couch, grabbed a pillow, and screamed into it. I tried to calm him down, but he just kept freaking out about how he was at his wit's end, and he needed a break, and that I couldn't even find a way to give him a single hour of quiet on Father's Day. I started crying, and he just looked at me and walked away to take care of the baby without saying anything. After he took care of the baby, he came back to me and apologized, but he said he needed a break, and he was going to talk to the family about taking the older kids for a week or so, and that he's just disappointed that his Father's Day was spent running around doing everything for everyone else. He didn't even get to cook his steaks. He ate cold pizza for dinner. I asked him what I was supposed to do, because it's not like I can move or leave the house. And he said I could have looked into a sitter for the kids, or made them sit with me and watch a movie for an hour so he could just have a sliver of time for himself. He said he feels like his needs are at the bottom of the list, and he just wants to feel like he matters for one day. So, am I the idiot? You're a recovering mother, which everyone should understand, but I've spent 30 seconds reading this and already thought, why didn't she coordinate with a friend or family member, etc., to take the kids for a portion of the day? That takes the bare minimum effort and shows how you care for your man on his day when he's been getting the job done. Hindsight is 20/20, but you are the idiot. Hey, but at least she ordered some steaks so he could cook them by himself. Seriously, at least order food in from a nice restaurant or something to make it feel special. So many conflicts can be fixed if people would just use their brains. You are the idiot, and please call some people to come over so your husband can have a break. It sounds like he desperately needs it. Unless you left it out, you didn't even console your husband. He broke down in front of you after weeks, maybe months of doing a lot on his own. Your only response was, well, what was I supposed to do? Seriously, you managed to get access to the internet to post this, but not to find a sitter for Father's Day? Apologize to him and make it up to him. And the next time he opens up to you, don't cry and make it about you. He's literally doing everything for you. I yelled at my stepdad for signing us up for a father-daughter dance that he knew I didn't want to attend. I had already said I didn't want to go to the dance. It's being run through my music club. I even told my music teacher that I didn't want to be on the list to get mail about it. She understood, but then my stepdad heard about it from a friend whose young daughter's in the same music school. So he decided he would ignore what I wanted and sign us both up for it. He's been in my life since I was 8 and has wanted to be given a dad thing ever since. Even though I was old enough when my dad died to know who he was and to have made sure dad was only for him and is a special title to me that nobody else can hold. Even though I've rejected all his attempts to really become my dad like he wanted to adopt me and change my name. He wanted me to write it so he could get it tattooed on his body. He wanted me to dedicate Father's Day to him. He wanted to be my dad, something he's pointed out a lot. He's begged me to call him dad, and I always say we can be close, but I will never call him dad because the special title is for my dad. He said he wanted to be that special to me, that I'm his only kid, and he thinks he's a good enough guy to be my only dad. My mom always sides with him and asks why I can't let him be a dad too, like it's something I should want or do just because he wants it. He came home the other day and announced he had signed us up for the dance. He said there was no way he would let this opportunity pass and that I could do this one thing for him, even if I didn't want to, because it would be fun. I lost it and yelled at him, saying he couldn't make me go and he could go screw himself and his father-daughter dance and get it through his head that he would never be my father. My mom yelled at me for yelling at him. He yelled at me for yelling at him. They said it wasn't my place and didn't care how mad I was. Yelling was not the answer. I told him speaking calmly and clearly doesn't help. So what else should I do? He said I'm supposed to love him and accept him. I now get to miss a bunch of stuff for yelling and only get to keep my laptop and internet access because of school. Am I the idiot? not the idiot. So stepfather has an issue with respecting your boundaries. Your mom has an issue acknowledging your boundaries, and you have to love and accept him just because they said so? No, that's not how it works. Relationships can't be forced. Don't go to that dance and enable his behavior, OP. For real, I've yet to see screaming, "Love me," at someone ever working out. You're not getting anywhere with yelling. You're gonna lose energy and get banned from doing crap. Time to gray rock. Can't cancel the dance? Just don't go. Are you going to be in the area? Just don't dance. Sit down. Don't move. Go to the bathroom. Whatever. I feel so bad for you, living with these two delusional idiots. Tell them no decent male role model teaches a girl that she has to love a man or accept that man as having a right to the relationship he has unilaterally decided he wants with her, just because he behaves like a nice guy. Tell him that by saying, "I get to be your dad because I want it, and I've been good." He's no better than the incels who insist, "You have to give me a chance to be your boyfriend because I'm a nice guy. And if you don't, I get to whine and stalk you and throw tantrums and set you up on forced dates until you do." Maybe that'll get through to him, or at least your mom. I, teen male, do martial art, and recently, my parents relocated to a new city. I found a gym in the new city for the martial art I practice and enrolled. Due to religious reasons, I'm not allowed to touch members of the opposite gender unless they're family members or my wife when I get married. In my old gym, I never had any issues with this. Everybody knew and respected it. I explained to my instructor at this new gym about this religious rule, and she understood and said it was perfectly fine. After warm-ups, it was time to spar, and this girl walked up to me, even though many other people didn't have partners, introduced herself, and asked to spar. I thanked her for the offer, but briefly explained it was against my religion to touch her in any way. She looked angry, stormed off, and found a different partner. I did too, and then I sparred without any incident. After class, this girl confronted me, saying I was an idiot for refusing to spar with her. I explained again that it was nothing against her, just my religious views, but she called me an idiot again. She complained to the instructor, who said I could spar with whoever I wanted, and it didn't matter, but she continued to be mad. So I'm wondering, am I the idiot for this? Edit. It's a mixed gender class, and there were many girls and women there. You would have respected it if she told you she didn't want to spar with men due to past trauma. This is no different. You are not the idiot. It's a mixed gender class, and there were lots of girls and women there. Yes, you signed up for a mixed gender class. This doesn't obligate the women to spar only with women. You're discriminating because your religion is discriminating. Even if you have religious protections that she obviously doesn't understand, you are the idiot, OP. She has a right to attend a class she pays for and not face discrimination. I don't think women only have to spar with women. In general, I think everybody has the freedom to spar with whomever they want, as long as there's mutual agreement. That applies to them and to OP as well. Assuming she's around your age, she's acting out of ignorance about religious and cultural differences, so she's an idiot for keeping up the drama and taking this personally, but hopefully she'll educate herself. You were polite and simply respected your beliefs. You're not an idiot for that. You're totally fine.